What's going on, everybody? I'm Blitz5, and welcome to episode number 23 of the Final Circle podcast. My name in real life is Ray, and this podcast is co-hosted by one of my best buddies. His name is Andrew, and his gamer tag is Cypher5. Just in case you guys are new to the podcast, some kind of reference for you all, you hear my voice now, and the next person talking will be Andrew. And if you're coming back from previous episodes of the podcast, or you guys watch the stream or are subscribed to my YouTube channel, I want to thank you guys for all of your continued support. We are slowly growing day by day, week by week, and month by month. And I, again, just really appreciate all the support. And if you want to support the podcast, the stream, the YouTube channel, anything we're doing, you guys know that if you want to do it for free, you can just subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's the best way to support your favorite content creators for free. YouTube now has the new membership benefit, which is kind of like a Twitch subscriber or like a Patreon thing where I give back to you guys as well. There's some perks for becoming a member on YouTube. We just hit 50 members on YouTube, which is such a big milestone for me. I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of the year. We're almost into June, so it's pretty good timing, and I think hopefully we'll be on track to hit 100 members by the end of the year. And honestly, that's such a big deal for me. Without all the members and people who have been supporting the stream, the channel, and all this stuff, this would not be possible at this point. So thank you guys very much. This operation for me has moved on from a day-to-day operation, but is really more of a month-to-month thing for me now. So I'm all in on all this stuff, and again, I just got to thank everybody for that. And then also just launched my Teespring store 2.0, version 2.0, because I'm saying 2.0 because I finally launched my first ever version of a logo for kind of the YouTube page and everything for the Blitz5. I don't want to say brand because it's not really a brand, but just, some kind of logo to identify myself if, you're looking through the internet, through social media and stuff like that. And I am so stoked with how this came out. I'm so happy with it. So many things in life where you're like, you go to buy something and it just doesn't work out, or you buy something new and electronic and it breaks, or even if you're paying for a service, sometimes, you get a haircut. I remember when I was younger, you get a haircut and you leave, and you're like, I hate this haircut, and you're like trying not to say anything when you're getting the haircut. You're like, it's fine. And you leave and it just sucks. And you're like, I just wasted $20 or whatever. And I've had some experience with that, working with some people who do graphic design in the past. And this experience I had was just so perfect. It's like, came out way better than I thought, and really put my vision onto the paper, onto the screen, and I was just so happy with it. So it's just a nice moment to have something work out like that. And through all the ups and downs of the YouTube, the stream, the podcast, and all that stuff, this was definitely a pretty big up moment for me. So I'm very proud of this. And for anybody that would like to check that out or support the stream through that way and get something in return, I know sometimes people feel weird just sending like a dono through the internet, and I totally get that. So if you want to check out the Teespring store, teespring.com/store/blitz5, I'll put the link on iTunes and also on YouTube. You can get something in return. We got t-shirts, sweatshirts, some coffee mugs and stuff like that. And I'll also have some hats and stuff in the coming weeks and some other products that I'm working on right now with Teespring. Teespring isn't the best site in the world. It has some issues and stuff like that, but it's partnered with YouTube, so that's why I'm using that at the moment. And again, I'm just super happy, and thank you to everybody and all the members. Without you guys, it would not be possible. And I'll stop saying thank you, but I really mean it. And I guess that pretty much covers it. Oh, and if you're new, podcast really focused around video games, and we do talk about some tech related stuff, sometimes the latest phone stuff, sometimes we're talking about Tesla or random other technology stuff. Those are kind of the things that are sparking our interest lately. But right now, the game I've been playing the most and I stream every day is PUBG. I think that's pretty much what Andrew's been playing for the most part, so that's what a lot of the podcast talks about. And in this episode in particular, this is really a PUBG podcast. We got patch update number 29 coming to the PC test server. We also have the test server opening up for console. So that's really all we talked about. So if you're looking for other stuff, maybe skip this episode. But if you're interested in listening to some PUBG news and stuff like that, then stick around for this one. And also one more thing here, had some issues in the beginning of the podcast and also in the middle and the end. I think I was moving my mic around too much. So some of the mic was like popping and making weird noises. So I just cut those parts out. Nothing major. It was just for like 1 second or two. So if you hear like a weird jump cut, it was probably because of just a weird noise that happened on the mic and I couldn't fix it. We didn't take out any chunk of the podcast or any sentences or, major discussion. We pretty much let this go. It's recorded. It's not live. So we could take something out if we wanted to, but I try to keep it, pretty original from the conversation. I try not to mess around with it too much. Just want to make sure that the audio quality is okay. So anyways, without rambling on too much, let's just get into the episode. Thank you guys for listening. You were saying the last time you played was last night. You played PUBG last night. Who are you playing with, Day Day and them?
Day Day and Matt. Matt played like one game.
Oh, nice.
or two. And me and Day played a couple. I mean, I don't have that bad of a time playing it. I guess everyone's a little bit like there's just some aspects sometimes where it's been really kind of difficult to play through.
You mean the game,
Um,
like playing right now after not like coming back to the game because you haven't been
I
playing
mean, I
as
wasn't
much,
playing a
or?
lot, but I mean, like I get like everyone, like we all play. Like even Day was just like, dude, like getting frustrated. There's just been times like there's just some latency, all those types of things. It's just kind of annoying at times, when you're trying to just like have a good game and you can't get momentum going, and then you're just like you feel like you're having latency or desync and stuff like that. It just gets kind of frustrating. It just makes like what already is a bad time just a worse time. You know what I mean? You're trying to have a good time. You're not having a good starting point, but then you just start having these like hacky things happen. So,
Yeah, no, it's so
you know,
true, man. It's so true. I think I don't experience that as much because I'm playing a lot like by myself or like
yeah,
and I'm playing like during the day, and I think probably there's like probably less players, less good players that are on during the day because like the maybe I think a lot of people play at night and stuff for the most
yeah,
part.
possibly. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. That's
Maybe
that maybe that's kind of like a bold statement for
could
him
be
to
vice
make without
versa.
like any knowledge. It could be vice versa. Like a lot of good players are on during the day because
Yeah,
it's like streamers and stuff. I did run into a guy today that was like a really really good player. Um,
yeah,
I looked him up because we almost were like, dude, is this dude like cheating? But it's just a legitimately like really good player because he was ripping shots with like no recoil. But then we like looked him up and he was a legitimate player. He's just really good. So kudos to that dude. But I totally get it, man. It's just like it's tough too because I play like every single day now. So I feel like I'm
yeah.
probably. I mean, I'm not even that good. We were talking about like what, like someone asked me a question in the chat, like, "What's your skill level in PUBG on a 10 scale?" And I was like doing the math, and I'm like, honestly, I would say probably like a strong. After like thinking about it, I would say like probably a strong like 7.5. If like 5 is like average or above average maybe, and 10 is like a pro player. Let's say like four
Yeah.
to five is average. Like I'm probably at like a 7.5. Like I'm better than the average player. I'm pretty good at the game, but also because I play every day now, like I'm in a really big like I'm in like a flow of the game. So I kind of I'm at that point now where I'm like pretty warmed up to the
Yeah.
game, but like I remember when you don't play it that often, it gets really frustrating, especially when you haven't played in a while, or if you're just having like a bad night and you get on for one night and you get like killed off the bat, and then you're watching your team play, and then you want to get in the action. So like you might hot drop the second game, then you get killed again, and then you're like, you could spend literally an hour and a half and just play two games, and you died off the bat twice, and you're watching your team. Or there's so many like frustrating moments where like one moment of desync can like kind of waste a half hour of your time that it's kind of frustrating, but I deal with that less when I'm streaming because I'm having fun. So even if that happens to me, like the stream is going and like I'm still having a fun time. Does that make sense? Kind of, you know?
Yeah. No, I understand.
Like for me, it's different, but I totally get it. It's like kind of frustrating some of those issues, to have that.
Yeah, it's just like it makes something that you're like, oh, I should be able to hop on, play a couple of games, and you're just like, shit. Um,
Yeah, well, that's kind of the hard part of battle royale in a nutshell, though, dude. Because the
yeah, you
game, the
can't jump
genre
in.
is like is is pretty. The games are pretty long. It's hard to just like jump
Yeah,
in. They're not very quick. That's like why team deathmatch and stuff was always so much fun. Or playing like domination on Call of Duty. You could hop on, play 3 games of domination in Call of Duty in like a half hour, and it didn't matter how much you died or what happened. I mean, you could have a frustrating experience if you got like wrecked by a really good team and you went like 5-50 or something and you got like annihilated in a match. But like for the most part,
yeah,
it's like a more casual experience. When in like battle royale, it can be casual because you're like taking your time and you're looting and stuff, but you can spend so much time in one match and then to just die because of desync or something random it gets pretty frustrating.
no, yeah. I mean, I agree. I think it's just, I don't know. It just sucks when you get online and you're like losing games because of like you feel like you're not experiencing the right thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have the desync and stuff like that. Like actually, I watched after you got offline Monday or Tuesday. You weren't online anymore. I went and watched like Doctor Disrespect was playing PUBG,
Okay.
and I watched him play. And like, I mean, he is like dramatic, obviously, but he was playing, and you could notice like a guy was running up a hill at him,
Mhm.
and the way it looked on his screen compared to what that guy saw was definitely different. Which is like that
Really?
happens, but it was
Yeah.
like just definitely it. I mean, for him, it wasn't as bad as he made it out to see, but I could see like how he was like what like he was still running when he got like
Yeah, but
his
that used
screen
to
the guy
happen.
was
If
still
you
running.
remember, that
So
used to happen in like Call of Duty, though. Like the same
oh
thing. You would
yeah,
like
it's
watch
the
someone's like
desync
kill
thing.
cam, and you're like, that wasn't even really what I saw on my screen.
Yeah,
totally desync. But the thing is, again, when you have one life and you're playing Battle
it
Royale,
makes it way more frustrating. You
Yeah,
dedicate 20 minutes to a game. Yeah,
totally. That's why at first I didn't think Battle Royale was gonna last. I'm like, I just don't get like the frustrating factor is like so high.
but I think that's like why it's addicting, because you're like frustrated. So you're like, get me in again. You know what I mean?
Totally. Like you want to survive more. You want to get to dinner.
Yeah,
for sure. I agree. That's what happens. And as you get better, you start being able to survive longer. So then it kind of like fixes, it like feeds the addiction. You're like, I'm getting closer. Then you get more kills, and then you have fun. You like go to new places. So it definitely kind of starts to like compound on itself and like snowball effect a little bit, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, it's
definitely different.
Yeah, like, and I'm in a weird spot because I play every day, pretty much. Not every day, but
yeah, I guess like you're more used to it. But at the same time, like it's probably not as bad. You're probably right. Like it is exaggerated a little bit because it is like the one life type of thing. But I mean, there's like sometimes where it's like blatantly terrible.
No, there's times when it's like way worse than it should be, for sure. I mean, it's PUBG. It's not. It's it definitely. Someone was like, asking me about the game. They're like, "Hey, I've heard this game has like issues. Should I buy it?" Someone came in the stream, and I'm like, "Well, dude, that's like a tough question to ask because PUBG is not a normal Xbox AAA game. I mean, it's not a AAA game. It wasn't made by a AAA developer, but it's just not a normal video game. You're like playing, like it's like a game preview game. It still is. I mean, to this point, it plays a lot better now, and I feel like it's in one of its like better states. But it's still kind of in like a game preview style mode with like the issues and all that stuff. But also, we were kind of I was defending it on the stream though, that like some people were complaining about it again, and the fact that this update has been delayed, which we'll talk about in a second here.
Yeah.
But like for $30 overall, and the fact that the game gets updated roughly on a monthly basis. I mean, it's been a little while since we've received an update, but I feel like still it's hard to argue if you play the game often that you haven't gotten your money's worth in some shape or form, So from like a money perspective, I feel like the value's there, but I understand that the game is still broken. So we were kind of talking about like people complaining about the game, but I also understand why people complaining about the game. It makes sense because it really doesn't work that well on Xbox and some of that stuff.
I definitely see both sides of it for sure.
Yeah, same. It's obviously the answer's in the middle, like most things.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like it's frustrating at times, but like for $30, what I paid, and how much I've played it, I've got my money's worth out of it.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, really, there's nothing just like PUBG. It's kind of surprising that another game hasn't really come along like this realistic.
They haven't made anything like that. Yeah, I don't get why no one has gone that route. Like, it's weird.
There's that other game coming out called like Insurgency Sandstorm. I think a lot of people have been talking about it in the stream. And I don't know if it's going to be Battle Royale, but I think it might be out on PC, but I don't think it's out on Xbox yet. And a lot of people are saying this game is like, that game looks hyper realistic though. Like I think like if you get shot by like one bullet, you could die. So it's like very realistic.
What is it called?
I think it's called Insurgency Sandstorm, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that must be a sequel game.
I'm not sure. I can Google it. I forget.
Just Googled it. Insurgency Sandstorm now available on PC.
It's available on PC, but it's not
team-based FPS.
Oh yeah, so there is an old game called Insurgency that was released on 2014. I think this is going to be like a new one. Sandstorm.
This is initial release date. It was September 18th, 2018.
Yeah, and it's not on Xbox yet, but yeah, honestly, I don't think I realized that it was on PC. Sorry for all the PC players out there and my lack of knowledge on this stuff.
Yes, this is a team-based tactical FPS based on lethal close quarters combat, objective-oriented multiplayer gameplay.
Yeah, from what I've heard, and someone showed me a video a while ago, that it's supposed to be really hyper-realistic, like I said, but who knows how it actually ended up launching on console, but
yeah,
that's what I've heard.
I didn't know it was on console, if it is, or if it's coming to console.
Yeah.
It looks interesting.
No, I'm pretty sure it's coming to Xbox.
I mean, hyper-realistic is like overkill. Like, I don't need to be shot once and die. Just more realistic, like, playment. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I think PUBG does a fantastic job of that. Like, it sticks to being pretty realistic for the most part, and sometimes the kill time feels like too fast. But I feel like
bad.
I feel like the kill time is good. The kill time is great to me.
As long as there's not like the hit, like the synchronization of hits, like where you're shooting someone like 5 times, or like, well, what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
But otherwise,
sometimes that does happen. Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, without a vest, you die really fast. With the level 3 vest, it does take longer. So I feel like it's pretty fair. Sometimes you take people out so fast. It's like kind of strange. But I forgot that me and you played this week, dude. Me and you played. You were off work on Monday, right? And we played on Monday a couple of games. Yeah, I forgot about that. My bad. That feels like last week. It feels like a while ago.
I couldn't get it together Monday. I know this has been a pretty slow week, actually, considering I've had off and I still do. you know.
Yeah, and talking about slow stuff too, it's also been pretty slow PUBG wise. For anybody listening to the podcast last week, you weren't on, but we'll say we because the podcast, Terrance on last week, and ended up working out because it was slow. We want to get more members on the podcast. I feel like it'd be fun to have like some member editions of the podcast, especially during the weeks where there's not a lot of like video game news going on. I mean, there's always video game news, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's always news.
Yeah, there's always something to talk about, but we do try to focus a lot about PUBG and stuff like that. So it was fun having his perspective on, and we definitely want to get more people involved. I forget where I was going with that. I think I was just saying slow news, but now there's actually a lot of news coming out today. So I guess we'll just transition to that if you're down. Talk about some of the updates real fast.
Yeah, let's do it.
So today, as we're recording the podcast, I might have mentioned this earlier. I forget. Today is May 15th. 2019. It's Wednesday, and yesterday, May 14th, we'll start with console first. Yesterday was supposed to be the end of the season 1 title rank, whatever it's called. Yeah, I think season 1 beta of the survival title system. It's the name is like a tongue twister, really. It's kind of confusing. The survival title system beta season 1. That's the official name of that. The survival title system. So originally supposed to end in April, then postponed to May 7th, then postponed to May 14th. And they put out like a tweet a couple weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, I think, saying that it's been extended and that the new update will come out shortly after. Okay. So that was like 2 weeks ago. So everyone's like, are you just reiterating that it's extended to May 14th or what? And they never answered. It was just like, the tweet was basically pointless. It just caused more confusion. And then yesterday, people were like asking them and messaging people on the forum and on Reddit being like, I was just kind of following it to see because I wanted to make, if information broke, I wanted to be quick on like a video or, to post about it. So I was like on the forums too, kind of searching around, and people were asking, and there's some responses from people that work at PUBG saying like, hey, we like have the update. We're just not everything's ready. We don't want to give out information. And last time, went on console, they literally hours before the update, they said that they really didn't even know what was going to be in the update yet. So like you can tell that they're really waiting till the last second to like push this update through. So that's basically what they said. And then this morning it came out that, not even this morning, it's actually this afternoon, that they've extended the season one more week just because basically they're extending it until they're ready to update the game. So it's actually been extended until May 21st, and that the public test server will now open on May 21st. So it's not going to go right to live. They're actually going to use the test server again, which is kind of ironic because a lot of people I saw today in the chat and also online were talking about how they haven't used the test server recently, but I think it's actually kind of a good thing. I know the point of the test server is to test stuff out, but I like that they just bring it to live because it's like
just get it going.
Get it going happens faster. So basically for console, we're waiting one more week, and unfortunately they said the more patch notes are going to come later this week about what's going to be in there. But we have to kind of speculate. We don't know what's going to be in there. Hopefully it will be the next Survivor Pass number 3 wild card, which is actually almost coming to an end on, or it's like closing it on an end, I think, on PC, which is crazy because we haven't even started it yet, the next Survivor Pass. And me and Andrew were quickly talking before the podcast. It's got to include, like, you got to imagine the ump changes. That seems pretty much default. The ump to the 45, the vector to the 9mm. Probably going to include the MP5K coming to Vikendi, the new submachine gun. And I would guess maybe the mastery system, but I don't know if that's too much for PUBG console right now. But I'm hoping that the mastery system comes to console. That would be nice. And I would like to finally see Vikendi on custom games, but I don't know if that's coming anytime
It's kind of
soon.
weird Vikendi isn't on custom games. Like, it just wasn't added immediately, but I
wonder what...
I don't...
Yeah, I mean, who knows what's going on behind the scenes, but, like, one would assume, not as a developer, though, but that, like, the map's already in the game. Why isn't it in just custom games now, too, It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it doesn't really make much sense to me, but I don't really know if there's some underlying logic to that, but whatever. I think that we're just going to wait. I think there needs to be a lot of other updates to the custom games and console anyway, so which I think are more pressing than just having Vikendi as a map.
Yeah, that's for sure. And actually, for anybody interested, so you guys know, I've been running custom games a lot, like on the weekends, and I actually did one last week with the demo derby, which I'll go back over again with the demo derby. And we've been doing the PUBG Xbox tournaments. I did like 3 tournaments so far. So I tweeted at them. I was going to post on the forum, but I just don't really use the forum that often, to be honest. So I tweeted at them and I said like, hey, just looking, can you guys like let us know or let me know if like custom games is even on your radar for PUBG console, because I'm doing like XYZ, and like if you guys aren't working on it, I'd rather know so I can stop, because it's like if they're not going to update it, we're not going to be able to do the fun things that people on PC are doing, like Wacky Jackies, Death Race, and like all this stuff, because we need to have options to make this stuff possible. So like I'm kind of planning on eventually doing that. So I just wanted an answer, and luckily one of the community managers responded to me and said that that is like in the plan right now, like the roadmap for Xbox and stuff. So I was like, that's cool, but they're like, that's not like happening now. And that's fine. Kind of another like crappy answer, but I appreciate them for letting me know that like it's at least on the radar, because it would be a waste of time to keep doing this stuff if they're never going to update it, Yeah. And I'd like them to be honest. Just say like, hey, dude, we don't have time. We're abandoning custom games. Like it's never going to get updated for like the next year. Then I would just be like, move on. Yeah.
I just think it would be bigger if they did update it. You know what I mean? People just see the issues and they're like, I'm not going to bother with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But again, like it's kind of those things that like when the new Survivor Pass comes out, I feel like less people are incentivized to play customs because they want to play the in-game. They want to play not a rank, it's not ranked, but they want to play a regular game, so like their progress can be tracked. They can level up their Survivor Pass. So like there's really no incentive to play custom game. It's just a community of people that want to have fun. So I feel like but to have fun, they need to update the options so we can do fun things like the death race that Wacky Jackie did, or the demo derby that we did yesterday for the first time. And I'll explain that. It was pretty fun. We didn't have a lot of people. We just did like a test run. It was impromptu. We didn't like announce it. So we didn't have like a lot of people. There was just like 30 people in the stream. I said, someone was like, are you down to try a demo derby tonight? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So we had only 20 people in the lobby. We made a private lobby. The first one was on Erangel, and we just had roughly, I think like 6 or 7 cars. And we had like 2 or 3 people in a team. And what we did is we said like, all right, the first phase, everybody loot up, get in a vehicle. Then we met in the center of the circle. We all lined our cars up. We took a picture. It was hilarious. Took a screenshot. Everybody lined up. Then we got in our car, and I said, all right, everybody wait like 30 seconds. We all started like driving around, like just craziness, like driving in a circle. And then like at the 30-second marker, like someone started firing, and everyone just started firing at each other and throwing stuns and grenades. And it was actually like pretty fun. We were just driving around in circles, like trying to shoot each other. People, like tires were getting blown out. Cars were exploding. And then eventually it became a one truck versus another truck. And it was hilarious. They were like jousting at each other. They kept like, driving away and then turning around and like driving right at each other. And like, it was actually, it was actually pretty fun to watch. And then, so we did one on Miramar, and then we did one on Erangel with the fog. And that made it fun because it was hard to see the cars until you were like really close. And it was fun. Luckily, because we had a small group of people, like everyone participated correctly. There was a couple people who, I don't want to say like cheated, but definitely like were not like following the exact like rules of it, but for the most part it was like fine, and it was a lot of fun. And obviously it's just a custom game, so it's just for laughs anyways, so it's like not a big deal.
It doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and no one like cheated, but like anyways, it was just really funny, and I definitely want to do that in the future. And I posted that on social media, and I got actually a lot of messages, people like DMing me being like, yeah, I want to do this, like when you're doing this next time. So you can see people want to have, it's like any game. We used to do this back in Halo 2 and stuff. People want to have fun sometimes and play customs and like,
I
don't know.
People like that kind of stuff. Like there's a lot, if there's like 10 people that want to do it, there's hundreds. It's just,
Totally. And the game is just perfect. Like I always say, PUBG is kind of like a sandbox game. It reminds me of like a Grand Theft Auto sometimes, because like with that, if the circle wasn't coming in, you basically have free range to do whatever you want to do. You can just get in a car and drive around. You can do backflips. Like it's like PUBG. You don't have to do it's like GTA. You don't have to do the missions. You can just start shooting cops and like, get in a shootout.
Causing havoc.
Yeah, causing havoc.
Yeah, just like creating.
Yeah, and you can kind of do that in PUBG too.
I think that's all I used to do. Like when like GTA Vice City, I would go and play at John's house, and we would just take turns playing and shooting cops. We wouldn't even do missions.
Yeah, exactly. And PUBG has that potential. Like there could be a mode where, I mean, that's basically like what the training mode is, but you could basically do that like in the regular. It would be almost fun to do that like in Erangel, and
Yeah,
have like a Mad Max version or a version where it's like more cars and I don't know, something like that. But I know it would be hard for them to
yeah.
do that.
No,
That's like a whole
I
separate
think it'd be
game.
fun.
But
I think it's a fun idea. I played for a while last night, and I saw you guys were still playing. It's like, oh, maybe I'll play a couple of that.
yeah,
But I
like we
just
were
been
saying,
getting up early
it
for
would
work,
be
so.
hilarious to play on Erangel, and everyone has to get on a boat and drive
Oh,
in like in between the two bridges, and you
mm,
last boat, and everyone has to be in between the two bridges, and last boat
yeah.
standing wins.
Naval battle.
Yeah, exactly. It's stupid, but
Ooh,
like
you know
it's
what'd
kind
be
of
cool
fun,
too is
you
like
know?
having like races in the boats and like people sitting on the cliffs.
Oh yeah, like a death race but in the boat.
Yeah, that'd
That
be
would be
funny.
pretty funny, dude. And everyone has to have gas. You have to like pull over and like get gas. That would be fun. But the thing is, it would work less because of the circle. People would start, you'd get in the circle and then you would like
Yeah.
die and then
And in custom games, you can't do anything with the circle, right?
no.
In console, you can't. I know in PC, you probably can.
Actually, I don't even think, I think the circle is like one of the things you can't do because even during the death race, I think Wacky Jackie, they had some issues like with the circle coming in. But why not just give people free range to do like all of that stuff? Like just mess with everything really. Um,
No, yeah, kind of like Fortnite lets you build your own maps and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Just completely. But I know, again, that's like a whole nother part of the game. But like you said, like it kind of grows interest in the game, and there's a whole community of people that would probably just be into that alone. You know what I mean? That might not want to play the regular version of the game.
Oh, definitely. I think that's a big
Yeah,
possibility.
and honestly, we've been doing custom games almost like every Saturday for people that are interested, and or every weekend at least. And I see a lot of the same usernames that aren't even in our stream that like are playing. Like in the custom games, a lot of the same like clans or people that have the same like front of their username. You see like a
Yeah,
lot of the same people that they must play like every weekend. They just play custom games because that's what they're into.
yeah. And like they like to play, or like they have too many people that play, so they just all say you don't play custom games.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that was fun. That was kind of our spin on it, doing the demo derby. So I was happy about that. And then that also made me realize like how fun the death race would actually be on console, because then
Yeah.
you could set up points like roadblocks and have people try to get through them, and that kind of stuff it would be really really fun. So, but it all depends on having people that are willing. So that's why we got to get a full party. We made the lobby private, and as the stream grows, we'll have I think more people that are interested in doing that. So that's cool. And I guess shout out to everybody that
Yeah.
joined, and thank you guys for doing that. It was actually a lot of fun.
I definitely think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
We
it was
should
fun.
definitely do it more often.
Yeah, definitely got to get a highlight of it. And then it was almost better. Like again, some of these things it stinks because it's better when you spectate. I played in them this time. It's like on like the tournaments where I just spectate. But then once I died, it was fun. Like following the cars in like free mode and just like seeing everything. It's kind of cool to watch it.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. So I guess that's it with console. So this update's coming. We talked about like who knows what's. I mean, most likely we know. I guess the changes and MP5 are going to come. Those are easy. Who knows if the
Yeah.
mastery change will come? I hope that stuff comes into the game.
I
So
mean, I
hopefully
feel like
Survivor Pass.
we mentioned those months ago. I feel like so.
I mean, it's been on PC, but yeah, we're really far behind now. This is definitely one of the farthest we've been behind from PC from a console perspective
Yeah, I
in a
mean,
long
PC
time.
seems to get like a monthly updates, and we're more on the quarterly end, to be honest. So
Yeah, I mean PUBG. I mean PC. I feel like has had so many updates in the past like month, even small ones. Like in the past month and a half, they've been just every message that comes through, every like tweet is about PC fixing this,
yeah,
updating that, which I get. Like we were also talking about this in the stream today. If you're having an honest conversation with yourself, like that is where their market is. Like they have a heavy player base in Asia and in Europe and also on PC. So like it makes sense that they're catering to them. You know what I mean? Um, it just is
oh,
what it is.
100%. Like I get it. I mean, the bread and butter is 100% PC players. Like I get it.
Yeah,
I
we get
can't.
it. Yeah.
You know,
But the
but
thing is that
it's not
it's not a great business practice to like have everyone we're paying the same amount and then to have one version so far behind. You know what I mean? It's
no,
not.
no, it's not. Like you don't want to lose that like clientele. Like it's still a percentage of your business, whether it's 10% or 80%. Like you still don't want to lose 10%
Yeah, no,
of
for
your
sure.
revenue.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
and who knows? Yeah, I wonder what the exact percentage is. But either way, it's just not. I mean, we pay the same. It's just not from a fair standpoint. I mean, I know life's not fair, but it's you know, just to repeat myself, not the right thing to do, I guess. But I see where their
no, they're
priorities are,
definitely not.
and it's coming down. And I'm sure it's tough, man. I give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, we support PUBG, and you know, I'm all in. I mean, I love the game, and I'm just talking about it. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I still think they're doing a lot of
I
good,
hope that
a good job.
I hope they
you know?
catch us up, and I guess I also see why they want to put it on the test server, because it's like I think that every time they don't put something on the test server, they severely break the game.
Yeah, so they might as well just let it go on there.
See what happens, in the test server, and then maybe have a good implementation this time. Maybe they're just like, let's just pump the brakes a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be a possibility.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot, they're making the changes to the mutant and the M16 tac stock. They're kind of buffing those guns. I just forgot about that.
That's been like so long too. Ugh.
Yeah, that's been a long time since that's been on. I mean, think about it. I tested out the changes on PC like so long ago. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
It's been so long. I mean, we should play more PC, to be honest with you. We should just switch to the master race.
I know. Oh well,
We just need to get a new PC.
I for the first time ever, I
something about
started like legitimately looking at parts. This morning, actually, dude. Yeah, started looking at some
Wow.
parts. So I'm a little. I don't know if it's great talk for the podcast, but I'm thinking I might as well. Right. We're talking. Might as well just talk about it. You just built yours.
Just say it, let it go.
So what I'm thinking about is like really going heavy duty on like a processor and a motherboard, and then because I don't
Mm-hmm.
play that many games on PC. It would really just be for streaming and for video editing. I was
Mm-hmm.
actually thinking about going like for example, I was looking, say like the NVIDIA GTX 280 or whatever, the graphics card. I was like, just a random price. Let's just say, I'm pretty sure it's the right one. It's like $600,
Yeah.
for that graphics card. I was looking at like what to do if you want like a budget option. They're like, oh, just get the RTX like 1060 or something. Yeah. And that's like $330, right? So I'm like, well, why don't I just maybe get that one? And then I take that extra $300 and maybe get like an Intel i9 or something ridiculous. And then like have a really strong computer that's like can video edit it and stream. And then like eventually, like if I save up some more money, like say like a year or 2 or 3 from now down the road, then I just get like, if I'm really into PC gaming, then I could get like the latest and greatest, like NVIDIA graphics card or something, right? Because or I could just get an i7 still or AMD like you did and just save that money, and then that overall my build just saves money because I don't need that like powerhouse graphics card right now, at least in my opinion, right?
I mean, the 2080 is the new one. I have the 2070.
Yeah, I know it off takes a lot of it off takes some of the load from the CPU.
Well, if you're streaming through your PC, the GPU is doing something.
It definitely is, yeah. But the thing is, do I really need that? I did some research.
Yeah.
I don't think I need that like that $600 graphics card. I think
Nah.
that's like for people who are really like on the.
No, I don't think you do
Like,
either. I think
yeah.
mine was like 400 or 500.
Okay, that's the thing. So I just want to. I want to make like a smart PC, like budget wise, but like I also want to make sure that like the core is strong, so that like I don't have to make another one soon, and that like I can video edit and stream and not have like issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
I would
kind of
say
like
definitely focus on motherboard and the CPU. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? The processor is a good way to look at it for sure.
yeah. I hope that's right. So I don't know. I'm gonna do some more research on it, and I just looked out some parts, and like I found a build. I'll maybe send it to you later, like after the stream.
Nice.
That I thought was like kind of cool, to go after. It's kind of like it's basically similar to your computer. Similar
Mine just has
style.
is all AMD.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided yet, like where I'm gonna go. I might just go Intel, but I'm not sure. I think you overpay
Intel's
for
a
that,
good
but
name. You don't save that much money by going with AMD, and you
Yeah.
save maybe $60 or something like that.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
yeah. It's just tough, it's hard to say. And then some people are saying that the i9 really isn't like worth it. It's kind of like overstated. So there's like a lot of.
I mean, I've never really heard much about it. I think you'll be fine with an i7. Like the new series is like the Coffee Lake. I think is still the newest. So
Yeah,
I
we'll
think
see.
you'll be fine with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I've been talking about it forever. So I apologize to keep repeating myself. But now I'm finally like looking into it now and like spending the time. So like now's the time.
Getting in after it, yeah.
Yeah, because some people have been, I've been getting some more support through like the stream. Some people put like, some people have like donated towards the PC fund. So now I feel like I'm in a little bit better spot to like maybe start.
I mean, you want to make a better experience for everybody. So
I definitely. Well, now it's like definitely hindering my workflow for sure. And like that's what's really killing me, man. Like, I made a video the other day that was like pretty short, dude, and the time to process it was just astronomically high. And then even not to mention the podcast I did, the last one with Terrance, like just rendering that, and I took the video out, it was just audio and like a thumbnail, dude, it took like hours. And I'm like, dude, should not be taking hours. This is like basically an audio file almost at this point, and it's just my computer is not doing well. I can tell it's like taking a dump right now.
It's getting a little tired. It's hitting its twilight. I mean, the computer's what, like 6 years old?
Yeah, it's like 6-7 years old. So
yeah, it's a good life for a computer, man.
Yeah, and I'm running like
especially how you use yours too.
Yeah, I'm running like an NVIDIA like 760 on here, and yeah, and it has like a lot of miles on it, like rendering and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. It's not like it was lightly used. You Googled stuff and played a couple games here and there.
No, and streaming for 4 hours a day or 5 hours a day, it's like my CPU usage is like really high for hours a day.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're not doing basic stuff. Like your computer's not idle for most of the day. It's on and it's working hard, like high temperature hard.
Yeah,
definitely want to make sure you get a good computer with a lot of airflow.
Oh, that's like my number one thing. Yeah, for sure. I want to keep that baby cool.
You may want to like go high on the cooling system.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I want to do. But you know what really intimidates me still though to this point, man, is like the build is less intimidating because I did it with you. I know like time we'll figure it out. It's not, well, it's after that, dude. I'm really intimidated by the by setting everything up and making sure like it works like that after it's built. Oh,
it takes like 2 minutes.
But don't you have to like do all the driver stuff or like my computer yet. You still have what?
I still haven't bought Windows yet. I'm still using the free version.
Oh wow. Yeah, that part like sketches me out. I don't know. And like people like, saying like you should overclock it. Like I don't want to do that.
No, you don't need to overclock it. I should definitely upgrade to the real Windows.
Yeah.
I should definitely do that because it's not good. I know. I just didn't feel like spending.
But it's another like what, $200 or something to do that, or to get Windows, or 100.
Yeah,
something like that. Everything is just.
I think it's like $300 or something like that.
Yeah, that's expensive.
I should definitely do it. Yeah, but you know what, dude? It's definitely it's like you don't want to get a virus or something like that, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, true. It's just it all adds up, man. It all adds up.
Oh yeah, it's actually $200. $300 is more than I thought. So it's only $200, which isn't terrible, but it's not great either.
That's not great. But no.
It's worth it when you build a computer if you don't buy the Windows. Like, otherwise upgrade the workstation. What's Pro? Whatever. We won't buy that.
Anyways, but yeah, and I can
use it. It's not that hard, dude. I'll help you set that up. That takes literally a couple minutes to set up the Windows and everything, and you'll be fine. Yeah, I'm gonna start playing it to get around with like putting up a PC build together, like on PC Part Picker. I already started playing around with it, so start picking your nose on PC Part Picker. Yeah, exactly. And I already found like something that was on for sale on like Best Buy, like pretty big rebate stuff. So I'm like, try to be balling on a budget. I guess we'll see where it goes. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, man. So that's that. And I guess let's go back to, this is basically just a PUBG episode, I guess a little bit of PC talk. You want to quickly, we'll talk about as patch 29, that's for PC, and then we'll wrap up the podcast for tonight, if that's cool. Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it. All right, sounds dope. So we got so today also, which is crazy because this was earlier this morning, and I was like, dude, console players are about to be triggered right now because this morning I woke up and there was no post for console, but an update number 29 for PC. And this is update number 29. Did I say that? Now on the test server. And yet another one for PC. And like I said, the Survivor Pass number 3, they just had some information on that. I made a video about this today, so we'll just scan over this for right now. But that's like coming to an end soon. I think it's coming to an end on in the middle of June, and then there's like a grace period up to actually it ends on June 5th, and the grace period is till June 26th. Kind of that's a long grace period, but I guess just in case people are away. It's kind of crazy that they have the wild card pass. Theirs is already announcing the ending, and we haven't. That's what I mean. That's what I was saying before. It's like stupid. Yeah, it kind of stinks. It's like we're so far behind.
But I think the big changes here that people are probably going to be really excited about is the Vikendi rebalancing. And this is technically the second one because they already slightly rebalanced the loot. And now this one is going to be more focused on like the blue zone and the way that the circles work, but they're also increasing the loot again, which I actually think, I don't know if that's the answer to the problem. It's kind of like a philosophical debate about like, it's almost like an economic thing in a way, because they're like, people don't like Vikendi because the circles and because people camp and there's too many compounds that people camp in. So to me though, like if there's more sniper rifles, they increase the sniper rifle spawn by 7 times. Like, isn't that just going to encourage people to stay in the compound and like snipe out of the compound? So I feel like, I don't really know if that's like going to solve the problem. It might just make it worse, but this circle thing is definitely going to make a huge difference. And, I think that's exciting. They're going to make it where the circle is going to be more drastic, like where it goes on the map, like different locations. And that I think, so phase 1, safe zone will now spawn in more varied locations. And I made a video about this today. Check it out. I was pointing out spots on the map, where like I think Vikendi has some really great spots. Port, Winery, everybody knows about Winery, Lumberyard, where like the circle never goes there. So people never see these areas of the map. So I feel like that will make it more fun because those areas are more creative. Like they look different. They're not like just copy and pasted locations on the map. So I feel like people will have more fun if they're in a new area, and that they also reduce the amount of time I think that it's going to take, like some of the blue zones. So it'll speed up a little bit. Again, that I don't know if they needed to do because a lot of people enjoy, I think the pace of PUBG like kind of slowed, but also a lot of people complained about that as well. What do you think? What's your opinion on Vikendi from playing it and stuff like that? What do you think right now if you hop in the match? Like,
I had to agree with the circle. It doesn't really move much. It always ends up like right on either side of the river, right in the middle. I don't really mind the compounds that much. I don't think they're that bad. I could see sniping making it worse.
I think the argument from a lot of players is that there's so many close compounds that basically like every team picks a compound and then whatever team gets the circle of like just gets screwed because they have to leave their compound.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
That's like what people complain about, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, they could definitely just reduce a couple compounds without lowering the loot.
I think like there's ways to play around it. You know, you like smokes and
the circle a little bit different though too, like making it move not in those areas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not always in the center. Yeah,
it's just too centered. Like that's why it probably seems that way because it's always in the same spot.
Yeah, no,
it's an optical illusion.
I think it kind of is that way, and also this is interesting, man. They're getting rid of kind of the secret cave. They're like, it's not so secret anymore. So we're going to they're not getting rid of it, but they're going to drop it from crate weapons from being in there and just make it high tiered loot, which to me makes sense. Yeah, and especially because on console,
it's a way to keep it without killing it off.
Exactly, and also on console, it just became a nightmare because people who have the OG Xbox can get into the cave before people who don't because they can glitch through the rock when it's not loaded.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
And it just made me stop going there, really, because by the time you got there people would already be fully loaded up and you'd be screwed. And
it's so salty.
So yeah, it was really fun when it first came out, but the loading issues on console to me kind of ruined it. And I honestly kind of forgot it was there. I'd like never go there anymore.
Yeah, I forgot too, honestly.
Yeah, so that's interesting. It is what it is. This is something I'm really excited about. So they're updating the tactical map markers, and PUBG like needs something like this really bad. After playing Apex, you know, it made it so apparent that like the game could have way better like markers,
tactical,
I guess. Yeah. Whatever. I don't know what I was gonna say. Like
couldn't figure out a word there.
Yeah, like I was gonna say like what is it called? Like a pinwheel, like a more appropriate like pinwheel for this kind of stuff. And I think I saw a rumor that this might be eventually coming to console, like for the grenades too, which I think would be really helpful. Where I might be speculating on that, so don't take that with a huge grain of salt. But like, I feel like that'd be nice if like there was a button that I think you hit right on the D-pad to open up to pick a grenade. Grenades. But if you held right, maybe like it would bring up a grenade pinwheel. I feel like that would be easier to use for a lot of people, especially when you have like 4 different grenades, like smoke, stun, Molotov, frag. You know?
Yeah, I guess I just never carry that many grenades. But...
yeah, I do a lot now, man. I've been dropping like I carry way less first aids now and all that stuff and ammo, and I carry more energy drinks and like so many more tactical items like frags and all that stuff and stuns.
Yeah, I mean, we were crushing it with the grenades the other day.
Was I? I don't even remember. I've been stinking with them recently, honestly, but
No, you were doing good the other day.
was okay. Yeah, I've been using the smokes and the stuns a lot better. I used to always flash myself, but now I've been really
I
using
always
them
use
well.
the smokes. I think the smokes are important.
Yeah, they're huge. So having that is definitely nice. This tactical marker. There's a couple of different options here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's attack, danger, defend, loot, regroup, and here's a vehicle. And I feel like that's great, man. If you mark a vehicle, like, or hey, let's move here. There's like whatever danger in this area. I think that's awesome, man. I love doing that in Apex. And honestly, I feel like the way to be better at PUBG, I almost like want to make a video about this or something, is literally just really using the markers, because the quick marker system blows. You try to quick some, I mean, it's helpful like in the short term, but sometimes it's like not accurate, you know, like you do it in front of you, it's like appearing behind you. You're like, what the hell is going on? So like actually using the map to mark, like there's a guy in this building, he's on this side of the building, there's this here, like it's so nice to do that, you know? Literally, we were playing a squad match the other day, not me and you, but like another team, and I literally told them like, all right, we're it's like heading into the final circle, and shout out to the podcast, and I was like, I know there's a team, I know there's a guy like here at this rock. Everyone marked like where they see a team, and we marked like literally the 4 teams or whatever like remaining. We're like, it's one here, and one there, and then like we could just look at the mini map, like we know there's a guy there, and then as we kill them, we like just erase that off the mini map, and we're like, okay, and like helps you so much more, like keep thinking, because there's so many things going on. You're like adjusting the time, making sure that like looking at the time, adjusting the circle, making sure you're in a safe spot. So to know like roughly where the enemies are at all times with those pins is so helpful. And a lot of times people just really don't use the pins at all. They just keep going. So I feel like that helps a lot.
I think it's useful. It's hard to just do on the fly with the console. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just like nerdy with that stuff. And I'm always like, I keep my map super zoomed in. I feel like that would help a lot of people too. I'm always like zoomed in all the way. And I'm marking like literally like, okay, there's a guy in like this room, which I know again is like a lot of multitasking and super nerdy, but it really helps, man. It really helps a lot to know where people are. I'm just a nerd.
Yeah.
I'm just a PUBG nerd.
Definitely. I think it's it's super helpful to have the markers. I just wish it was a little bit faster in general to get markers on the map.
Yeah, like a faster way to do it. Yeah,
you have to open up the map, drop the pin, but I think it'll be helpful nonetheless. There's not really a good quick way. It would be kind of cool with, you know, you can like on console make the map bigger. If you could like make the map bigger, and it would give you like a little cursor in there, so when it opened up the map a little bit,
we
like,
do have
you know, your right stick would do it, and you could just like click the right stick.
Well, that's what it is now, though. There's that cursor, and you zoom in, you just use it. I'm not really sure what you mean.
No, so like you hit select to bring open the map.
Yeah.
But like you can bring up the map in your main screen, like zoom in some, make the map bigger.
Oh, you mean like, yeah. Like in the main view now, if you like, I forget what the button is, but you can make the mini map bigger. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. But you get like a little cursor in there that you could drop.
Oh,
like,
I see. Yeah.
Make
it
like
faster.
with the right stick moves it around.
I see. Yeah.
But if you move your left stick, everything drops. So you can kind of like go faster. You know what I mean? Like get right back into.
Yeah. See, because really, when you pull up the whole mini map, like you really put yourself in danger of getting killed. You can't really move. Your whole screen is blocked. I see what you're saying. There's really no fast way to do it.
You hold that button, it pops open. You use your right stick to figure out to mark. You know, just as a cursor, you drop it with a click of the right stick. And then the pinwheel could be holding the right stick, and you just move over. You know what I mean? Like so it's one cursor, one button.
I guess in reality, what would be nice is if that quick marker system, instead of just doing like that highlighted area on the compass, actually drop the pin in front of you. That would be like the only way to really make it faster, because that highlighting the compass thing seems broken. But like, I think in Apex, don't they do that? Like you look at somewhere and it like sends the pin, right? In Apex, I'm pretty sure. I haven't played in a minute. That's just what they need to do.
Yeah, it's pretty much where you're like your crosshairs are aiming.
Yeah,
we'll drop a pin.
Yeah, I feel like that is maybe the answer in all reality, if they can ever get to that point. But that stuff kind of helps. I was playing with some people the other day and not streaming, and I was like just playing, like we were in the end of the game, and I was literally just like calling out so many things and being like, literally like I was, I don't know, like in the military, dude. And I was like, I'm sorry guys, I'm a nerd. I'm like, this is embarrassing. Like I was just being, not try hard, but it's making me laugh. I know it's not funny, but to anybody else but myself, but it was just such a like nerd. I'm just so deep into PUBG right now. I can't even explain it, dude. I'm too deep. I gotta get out. I gotta play a different game. I gotta get off my Xbox.
You need a day off.
And I'm just too deep into PUBG, man.
PUBG vacation.
Yeah, I've been playing for too long, dude. I'm just like so deep into it. Like it's like playing paintball or something, you know? Like it's just fun calling, like having the call outs and thinking about like where the enemy team is going. I just enjoy it. It's like fun thinking about it, you know? I don't
It's
know.
the whole point of being tactical, you know?
Yeah. I enjoyed that game more than the fighting aspect almost sometimes, I think. That's like to me is the most fun part. Is being
Maybe
like,
you're
all right,
just a born leader.
they're coming. No, I don't think so. They're like coming down this way, and like I don't know. I'm not even gonna recreate it, but I like thinking about all that stuff. It's fun.
No, I get it. I mean, it makes it fun when everyone's like interacting that way.
Yeah,
It makes it more serious. Like being serious sometimes makes it more fun.
yeah, because it's
Yeah.
just like, and especially if you get it right, you're like, okay, let's go here, and you're like, all right, we got the right side of the circle, we played it right. Like it just makes it fun.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely makes it yeah, more
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. Maybe I'm just a huge loser. That's okay. That's fine too.
You just want to be a winner.
Yeah, man. So, anyways, moving on from that. Anyways, shout out to everyone who's been playing in the custom games and like in the stream with me recently. Been having a lot of fun and a lot of dinners all around. So yeah, and I've been winning a lot more recently. So I feel like something's going on. Maybe I'm just like playing too much, or I think I have a lot of the some of the strategy down to like a pretty good science right now, like of how to play some of the maps. I know a lot of it is luck, but I really feel like you can use like a lot of factors to your advantage to figure out like where to place yourself sometimes, because I've been getting into the final circle or like the top 5 without having too much conflict and like getting in really good spots, and like I guess like it's less
Yeah.
entertaining maybe or less aggressive, but like I've been winning more games with like lower kills and like more often, like a lot of games. So it's been yeah, I don't know.
Maybe everyone just sucks.
Actually, today I ran into a lot of bad people. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of bots playing today until I ran into this really good player. But yeah, it could be that too.
Bots?
Kidding, like bots, like people that were not moving really, like and shooting at me.
Yeah.
So it could be that too. It could just be luck of the
Garbage.
draw. Sometimes you run
Maybe
into
they're just
constantly
pretty
good people.
bossy.
Sometimes you run into bad people. All luck of the draw. So I guess that's pretty much it, man. They're making some custom game updates for PC. So hopefully that stuff trickles down. They're bringing a lot more custom game options to PC with like they're creating kits for war mode, different things you can utility kits. Also, there's a thing coming into the game. They're gonna put this on PC custom games, testing it out first, I guess, where it's like a vehicle repair kit. So who knows if this will eventually make it into live? I think this is probably going to be like the flare gun, where the flare gun was only in customs, and then if people like it, they'll bring it to a live server. It's like a way of using it as a test server. And I don't see how this would be like overpowered in any way. I think it's a good idea. If you get a vehicle repair kit, you can repair your vehicle and then keep driving. I really don't see how that would be like overpowered in any way,
Yeah.
It's just like having a med kit. So I think that's kind of cool. I'm not sure if you saw that at all in the patch. It's kind of like a small thing.
Yeah, it's like down at the bottom here.
Yeah, exactly. It's the critical response kit, and having this kit and reviving teammate as usual will get them up faster than the traditional reviving. And then there's a mechanics toolbox. Using this toolbox in a vehicle will repair a certain amount of vehicle health.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't think that's bad. I don't see any issue with that. And then
No.
some bug fixes, and there's one that I pointed out in this video that I figured I would just mention here. So there's 2 fixes here. So they're saying that in the fix here that I guess grenades can no longer be thrown through wire mesh, most notably wire fences. So they're calling this a fix, but to me this is more of just like a gameplay design thing. And I wasn't sure how I thought about that at first. Like, could you throw a grenade through a fence in real life? Most likely not.
No, it's
you probably
too big, probably.
It's either probably too big, or the odds of you perfectly getting it through a hole would be like slim to none. I'm not sure. I don't know what a real. I mean,
Well,
I've like held like frag grenades at like a store, but I don't know if they're like big. You say something about shooting through the fence?
Yeah, the game doesn't even let you shoot through the fence sometimes.
Yeah,
so
I think they've been fixing that on PC, but on console we still have that issue where you really can't shoot through the fence. But I wonder how that would be.
Stair railings.
That would be an interesting test, like in Mythbusters in real life. That show's over, right? Like, how effective would it be, like shooting something through a fence? Because the chain link fence has to mess up the bullet trajectory a little bit, right?
I could, but I can't
Probably
see
not,
it
though.
being that bad, like
No.
crazy.
No, me neither.
I mean, because it could shoot through the fence, like the bullets aren't that big. Like, maybe some will hit the fence and deflect, but some will go through.
I feel like most would go through, right? Like, for the most part.
Yeah.
Just an interesting
like
thought,
a high
though.
volume of bullets. I'm gonna go through.
Yeah, I feel like most of them would. I feel like only a rare few would like bounce off or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that changed, and in this issue, I feel like a lot of people will be happy if this is implemented correctly and actually fixes the issue, where a lot of times if you're trying to aim down sights near a wall or like near a box or something, like your player will shake and like your gun like aims up instead of aiming towards where you're looking at. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but it's pretty frustrating. Your like guy basically gets stuck and he's like glitching out a little bit. So they allegedly are fixing that issue when you get stuck on like a corner like that, and that would be really nice. And then there's a whole other handful of bug fixes there. I think that's good. That pretty much covers it. Just like a PUBG episode for today, covering this update number 29, and also what's kind of going on with PUBG on console. I feel like it's pretty solid for the most part right now. Obviously, unfortunate that we have to wait, but for the most part, the game is in a good spot. Definitely a good time to maybe like right now take a break from PUBG and play other games until next week on the test server, or let people test out the game and then you come back, or not you, but anybody listening when it goes live, you know, which will probably be happening, I guess, at the end of May if we had to guess now. Probably PTS server will be up for 1 week and then they'll go live. So we'll see what happens from there.
I think it would only be a couple days on the PTS server, like 3.
Really, I bet it'll be like a week, man. Who knows?
I guess.
It would be nice if it was quicker. You know?
Who knows? Oh, yeah, by the way, you got some new T-shirts and stuff and everything on the website?
Oh, yeah, man. So on Monday, that was actually like a perfect segue. We didn't plan that. I just forgot, man. I mean, I definitely wanted to promote that on the podcast. So on Monday, I launched like my new, thanks, dude. I launched like my new logo. It's my first time ever having like a logo. And I guess I made a joke like on Twitter. I'm like in accordance with full send 2019, because I really am going full send on like everything. I know it's kind of tacky to say now, corny, but like I'm all in on YouTube and stuff now. And I figured, you know what, I might as well get somebody like a real graphic designer involved. I can do some minor Photoshop stuff here and there, but I'm not a professional by any means. I'm very far from it. I'm barely an amateur sometimes. I like stink at that stuff now. I was better when I was in high school. But anyways, so I paid for somebody to help. They helped me create this couple different logos. They're out. I'm really, really, really happy with how they came out. Like I was ecstatic with how they came out. Like, I don't know, to me, it was just awesome. I was like proud of having it. I know it's just like a design, but it just makes it feel like more legitimate, you know, like things are doing a little bit better on YouTube now, have a logo, like, and for the first time I felt like, dude, this is getting pretty cool now. This is like a fun thing. When before it's been pretty much a lot of stress and like craziness going on, you know, trying to get up off the ground here with like the podcast and everything. It's been like just a frantic dash. So it was nice on Friday. Last week I had a really good streaming week. And on Friday I had like one of the best streams ever. It was literally insane. I got 4 dinners in a row. That was a record. And we had a lot of people donating to the stream and just a lot of laughs and new gifts and stuff in the stream. It was just, everyone was laughing. We were winning a lot. Like that's video games in a nutshell. Like that's a good time. And to have the new, and then also I got an email that the logos were finished. So I'm like, I was just so stoked on Friday. It was awesome. So I launched, sorry, this is like a long outro to that, but I launched the new merchandise on my Teespring store. I'll leave that link on, obviously on YouTube. And also if you're on like iTunes, I'll link it on there as well, if anybody's interested. And there's more stuff to come really. This is just kind of like Teespring store 2.0 and like the first launch of this logo, but there's a couple different iterations, and I'll probably be doing some other stuff on top of it, but for now it's there. And I ordered some shirts. I'm excited to get them, man. I'm definitely excited.
I'm looking at the shirts, and you had sent me the logos beforehand, and I was like, ooh, I like all these.
Yeah, exactly. And I just chose 2 of them to put on the shirts for right now, but there's a couple other that the guy's actually still like sending me right now, finalizing. And the
colors and stuff, I guess you could change up too.
Yeah, you can like invert them or go like, I kind of have like black and yellow. I kind of picked as my colors recently, and then for at least for now, and I kind of have like gray as like an alternate color. So I was thinking about kind of like the NFL. They usually have like their home jersey, they're like away jersey. So you want like your default colors and then like backup colors depending on like where the background is, you know, like what looks better, and then like having like an alternate one just for fun, like on the side. So it's kind of like what I went with, and then there's a couple different designs. So I don't know. I had fun, man. I had fun to get this guy.
I need to get shirt stuff for when I go to E3.
There you go. Teespring is super behind right now, not on my orders, but on everyone's orders. So on my orders, like on top of it. So it kind of stinks, but yeah, we can talk about that after. So anyways, if you guys want to check it out and support the stream, you guys know how to. I mean, you could subscribe on YouTube for free. You can become a member. Shout out to all the members. We hit 50 members over the weekend, I think, or maybe on Monday. So that was fantastic. Like literally clap it up. Like having 50 members on YouTube is insane. So a big thank you to you guys for real. I can't even say thank you enough. And so that was a big milestone. 3,300 subscribers, so I'm still pretty low on that, but we're heading towards slowly but surely towards 4,000. And what else? Yeah, the merchandise, new logo. So yeah, if you want to support the podcast for free, you can subscribe. If you want to take it to the next level, you can become a member on YouTube, which is sort of like being a Twitch subscriber or a Patreon, or you can hot drop dono in the stream if you ever feel compelled to, or you can buy a shirt if you want something in return and feel more comfortable doing so. Sometimes people literally message me, they're like, hey dude, I want to support you, but I just don't like sending people money. I'd rather buy like a shirt. And I totally get it. I know sometimes it just feels weird sending money over the internet, and that's totally fine. And not everyone has to donate. Please don't ever feel compelled to donate or buy a shirt or anything. It's just for people who feel compelled to do so, or want to support that's in that way. So, yeah, I don't know how to say that another way, but
support the cause.
But yeah, you know what I mean? Like someone's like, dude, if I get paid, I'll try to send you money. I'm like, don't send me money, dude. If you're like don't do that. Please. It's just for people who are enjoying themselves and have some extra cash that might want to support something. And even that sounds dirty, but I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? I just try to be honest with that stuff. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah. We'll end it there. Well, all right, guys.
Here we have it.
All right. You want to let them know? That's it. Thank you for making it into the Final Circle podcast.
You're getting
stealing your line. That's okay, man. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'm just thinking about life in PUBG. Updates coming. This is the podcast. This was supposed to be another quick one, but we went for an hour again, and it's just life, man.
Yeah, I think I cut a little bit, but it's good.
We'll cut a little bit at the beginning, we'll be fine. So thank you guys for listening. Andrew, thanks again, man. And,
no problem. Thank you everybody for having me. As always, I'm back.
Back again. All right, everybody. Have a good night or good afternoon or good morning, whatever time it is where you're listening.
Later, everyone. Thank you.
All right, peace.